Okay, welcome back to class. Today we're going to be talking about some basic things, just like adding color, just a little color to your text that you have. Add a little color to your text, to your paragraph, and also on some other things without using the CSS yet. Now, there are three concepts. We're going to be talking about it more when we get to the CSS. That's how to include CSS into your HTML. We have three ways of doing that. What we'll just do first is we have the inline CSS. We have the inline CSS. That's when you add it in between your page. You add it in between your paragraph. That's you add a color in between your paragraph, or you embed it, or you do it the external way. The external way is for you to open a CSS file. You open a new page, which is going to be a CSS page, and you have a link there in such that you can now link up the two files together. Maybe that page will not be your style sheet or something. So the first one is going to be the inline CSS that I would be talking about. For example, you go to your paragraph now. Let's say the first paragraph now. You want to add a precise coloring to this paragraph. All you just need to do is to type style. This is what we call the inline style, equal to, then maybe background color. Background color. You see it pop up, background color. What exactly is going to be your background color? Let's put a color blue. Yes, our background color is color blue. Then we can also add padding, or if we decide, or if we want or we don't want, we can also add padding to it or something. Then let's see, maybe padding. We can add padding, let's say 10 pixels. Let's say I have 10 pixels or something. Then I think we can, let's see, remember it's the first one. We can close this. Let's see why this is this. Okay, let's disable that. Let's see what it will give. Okay, so let's do this. Refresh. Now can you see the background for the first paragraph is blue. Background for the first paragraph is blue. If I want to do it, I can just copy this. This inline. I can just copy this, copy everything here. Then I'll just take it to every other part that I want it to reflect on. Let's I've done for 3. Let's say, let me use this. Let me put green. Background color, let's say green for that. Let's say red for this. Let's save. Let's go back. Let's refresh. Yes, can you see it? So this is what I would have. Yes. And if I don't want, this is all about the inline CSS. If I don't want to do the inline CSS, I can use the embedded. Let me remove this to avoid conflict, because when you leave inline, it might not really let your embedded work, because they have a stronger relation with each other. So let me remove this. Let me also remove this. Yes. Okay, let's go back to the page and let's see. I've removed all. Okay, now it's back. Now the next thing I can look out for is the embedded. Now all I need to do for me to work on the embedded, I go to my head tag after the title tag. I will just go to my head tag after the title tag. Look at it, this is my head tag. I have a space here, then I just type my style. Once I put my style and I close it, it's both open and close. Now I have, let's see what the H1 would give us. H1, then I open a curly bracket. When I open a curly bracket, I put color, maybe but I can also do the background color for each one or something. But let's say I just have my color, my semicolon. Let's say I have red, and I have this. So let's save, let's see what it would give us. Yes, can you see? So let's assume I include background color. If it's going to be background color, background color, let's see for my H1. Now can you see it? It will give my background color completely, so I can have a background color of such. Then if I don't want a background color, I can just put my normal color for H1. Let's see, color for H1, which is red or something. Now this is what I can do with this. Now remember that H1 is because I have H1 here. If I have multiple H1, every of the H1 that has the every of the H1 tag would be colored as such. And now how about if I want to color precise portions? All I need to do is just to either use the ID attribute or the class attribute. All I need to do is to use the ID attribute or the class attribute. If I want to color this now, maybe I can just say ID equal to, I can call it a precise name. Let's say TAR. Let's say anything at all. I can target anything at all. I have ID TAR. Let's copy this so I can duplicate it somewhere. I have this. Let's come in here. I'm also duplicating it here. Okay. Then I'm also duplicating it here. Okay, let me now do this. Let me include it here so we can see the difference. Let me remove this from here. Let me fix it here so we can see it. Now, the ID tag, all I just need to do again is to have a style. Now, in place of H1, my ID tag is star. So I would have hash and tar. So the color, let's say the color, is blue. Yes, I would have hash and tar. So we say the color is blue. Let's say the color is blue. Then I save. Let's run, and let's see what it would give us. Now can you see it's blue? Now it's blue. The color is blue. The color of the text is blue. Can you see it? Blue. This is also blue, and the other one is also blue. So that is how to use your ID. Now if it were to be class tag, that's class attribute rather, I can come to this part now. I can say class, I can call it any name also. Let me call it FAR. Let's come to this place too. I can say FAR class. Let's call it equal to, so I have FAR there. Then let me copy this. I can come to the next one here. I have class. So when you are using your class attribute, I can come to this part now, copy. I can come to the class part here, to my head tag. Now in place of hash, I'll use a dot FAR. Let's change the color to gold. Let's see, golden rod. Okay, golden rod looks nice. Let's use golden rod. I save. Then I come back to this point. and I refresh. Now can you see all those that I made use of class FAR, it's now in gold color, and the one with tar with blue, it's now in blue. So this is how I can beautify my text or the background. Even if I change it to background something or thereabout, you see it pop up as such, and that is how it is. So that is what our class will be about for today. But let me just talk about some general guidelines. Now remember that there are some guidelines I will give you. I'll give you about 8 to 9 guidelines, and that will be all for this class. Now, whenever you're using your lowercase elements, better still, whenever you're using your element, make sure you use a lowercase. Now, can you see that all my elements which I have H1, I have my anchor tag, my body, they are all lowercase. Can you see them all? My P tag, my BR, my center, all they are lowercase. So all my elements, they were lowercase. Now use lowercase attributes name also. Use lowercase attributes name. Use lowercase attributes name. So for this now, this fata or something, I can change it to my lowercase. Take note of that. I can change it to my lowercase. You need to change it to your lowercase. They must all be in lowercase. Yes. Then I can go back and change this also to lowercase. They should all be in lowercase for to avoid conflict in usage of attribute names. Now use lowercase file names also, and also we can use camel case for names, class IDs, and so on. For example, you can have what is camel case? Maybe I have for my ID here, I can have lowercase, then the next one will be with a capital letter. That's like my tar, something like that, my tar, something like this, and also something like this, my tar. So this is what we call the camel case. Then I come back to this point here, which is my tar. This is what I have here as far as this part is concerned. Then take note of something: no spaces before or after. That is equal to in attributes. Now can you see my attributes before or after? ID equal to, can you see there is no space before my equal to or after my equal to, no space. So these are just basic guidelines I am giving to you so that whenever you're working, you know how to do your work. Now also try as much as possible to avoid long lines of codes. Try as much as possible to break your code. That's the essence of the BR here, so that my text will look much more easy and much more simple to read. So try as much as possible to always break your codes. And another thing is do not add blank lines without a reason. Now, don't add blank lines. This line is called a blank line. Don't add blank lines without a reason. In place of your blank line, you can actually include your HR. Remember what your HR will do? It will help you draw your horizontal row. Yes, it will help you draw your horizontal row. So you put that in mind also. And try to be indent code 2 or 4 spaces preferences. Also close tags in proper order. Your closing of tags should be in proper order. Yes, your closing of tags should be in proper order. So these are just basic things that you need to learn as far as your HTML is concerned. And I think we are very okay with what we have. So let me show you one last thing before we go. Now, look at my body tag. Yes, look at my body tag. I can add a color, maybe remember we worked on, okay, let's say body. I can say style. This is going to be the last thing I will show you. Style, I can say background color. Let's look at let's say black. Background color, let's say black. So I can come back to this heading. I have this. Okay, or better still, I don't really need it because it's in line. Let's save and let's see what it would give us. Oh, okay, let's run and debug. Let's see what it would give us. Run and debug. I don't know. I never knew it closed up. Let's run on the bulb. Let's try it one more time. Okay, beautiful. Now beautiful. Can you see it? Can you see the other colors are not showing? But look at it. I have a black background because the colors I made use of to do the writings. When I change all the colors now, you will see that they will pop up. So I have a black background and I can work on this. I have text here. If you remember, can you see it? I have text here. So, and all of this is still working with, remember I have a text here also. Yes, can you see? I have a text here. So all of this is still working with HTML. So I can work on this as far as HTML is concerned, and I think we'll be fine. We'll be fine. These are many more what we're going to be talking about. So in the next class, before your next class, I would give you an assignment to do to prepare a 2 to 3 page that I'll give you a sample. I'll show you a sample and how it's done. So thereafter we'll move up to CSS proper. We're going to move up to CSS proper. Any other thing, you can ask questions. Thank you and see you in the next class.